boxing. I've been boxing for a few years, but I just got serious about it about a year ago. So I'm sure that most of you guys have seen like a clip of boxing, whether it be on YouTube or maybe you guys watched the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. So I'm sure you guys are at least a little bit familiar with boxing. So in my speech, I'm going to first talk about the history of boxing, and then I'm going to teach you guys some of the basics. So according to the Fight Club of America, America's History of Boxing, boxing, also called pugilism, which means fist fight, is one of Earth's oldest sports. Dating back to 1500 BC, it can be traced back to the ancient Greeks. And additionally, other researchers argue that it actually began in Egypt and Ethiopia as far back as 4000 BC, making it one of the oldest sports that we've discovered on our planet. So clearly, it stood the test of time. And now, let's begin the training section. So I'm not even going to pick up the gloves first. The most important part, as stated by UFC fighter Conor McGregor, is your stance. So for boxing, you want to stand upright, but you also want to bend your legs, and you want to make sure that you're not like this, because then you can be pushed from the side. And if you're too like this, then you actually no, wrong way. If you're like this, you can be pushed from the side really easily. So can I get a Bobby? Can you come up real quick?
Got you, bro.
Thank you. So go ahead. Give me a little push on the side. Too wobbly. Give me a push from here. Too wobbly. Like this. Push it from the front. Nothing. From the side. Nothing. Like this. Forward. Yeah. Okay. You want to stand up straight. You want to put your arms up. You want to cover yourself at all times. That's the most important part. And so it's supposed to look like this. That's the stance you want to have. It depends for other people. Some people fight with their hands down here. It just depends on where you learn from and what's comfortable. So the second part of boxing is movement. So once you're in your stance, you're not going to be standing still. That's not how you box. You have to be moving around. You have to be mobile. So there's another UFC fighter, Dominic Cruz, who he's a bantamweight champion right now, and pretty much his whole thing is movement. That's what he talks about all the time. He talks about not getting hit because one, it's going to save you a lot of like injuries, especially head damage, if you can move around a lot. So for movement, you're never supposed to cross your feet, because if you cross your feet, you're off balance. You can easily be pushed. So for your movement, you want to always have space in between your feet, like this, forward. So you're always in control. You're always upright. You can't be pushed over easily. So that's the stance and movement part. Now for the actual boxing part. All right, you guys can stand up and do it with me now. So, all right, the first thing is a jab. So get in the stance, try to do it. Like I told you, I know you guys don't have that much room. Put the arms up. You want it. It depends. If you're left-handed, then your right hand should be forward. If you're right-handed, left hand should be forward. So pretty much what you want to do. Get in your stance, straight up, front hand, just go like that. You want to rotate it as much as you can, and you want to whip it out. That's the jab. Yeah. Okay. After the jab, we have the cross. That's your backhand. That's the hand with all the power. So jab, cross. Then after that, we got jab, cross, hook. And actually, you guys know Mike Tyson? He just crushed people with that. Jab, cross, hook. And then last, we got jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Jab, cross, hook, up or down? You want to move around a little bit?
All right.
So that's the basics. Good job, everyone. I'm running out of time, but the purpose of me teaching this to you was just to show you about a sport that maybe you guys didn't know a lot about. It's a really polarizing sport because a lot of people aren't a fan of the violence. It is a very dangerous sport, but it definitely has its benefits, and I think one of the most important things is that it can teach you self-defense, and I think that's important for everyone to know. So, I mean, it was a very short lesson that I just gave you, but if you enjoyed it at all, I'd urge you to check out like a boxing or kickboxing class. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to stay in shape. Thank you.
Okay, Nick, how was this for you?